Ryan had always been told that getting a college degree would open doors. Growing up in a modest household, his parents had worked hard to give him the best education they could afford. When Ryan graduated from a reputable state university in June, he was proud of the achievement. The applause from family and friends echoed in his ears as he clutched his diploma, feeling like the world was at his feet. The future seemed wide open, a canvas he could paint with dreams and possibilities. But when the first payment notice for his student loan arrived, Ryan's euphoria faded quickly. It wasn't the celebration of newfound independence he had imagined. Instead, it was a stark reminder of the $80,000 debt he now owed. His minimum monthly payment was $650, a significant amount for someone just starting out in a marketing job that paid a modest $45,000 a year. With rent for his small apartment in Chicago, groceries, transportation, and the occasional night out with friends, Ryan felt like the weight of his debt was suffocating him. His optimism quickly turned to worry. He had always been a go-getter, confident that hard work would eventually pay off, but nothing in his education had prepared him for this moment. The thought of trying to pay off such a large amount of money felt impossible. As the months passed, Ryan found himself struggling to keep his head above water. His loan balance didn't budge. The interest just kept piling on. Each month, his payment would cover the interest, but barely make a dent in the principal. The feeling of never getting ahead began to chip away at his hope. It wasn't until one evening, when Ryan was catching up with friends at a local bar, that he realized he wasn't alone in his struggle. His friend Lisa, an accountant who had managed to pay off her student loans in just 2 years, noticed Ryan's frustration. After listening to him vent, she leaned in and gave him a piece of advice that would change his perspective. "You need to get serious about a plan, Ryan. Have you ever heard of the debt avalanche method?" Ryan had never heard of it. Lisa explained that the debt avalanche method was a strategy where you focus on paying off the loan with the highest interest rate first, while making minimum payments on the others, irrespective of the size of the loan. By doing this, you could save more money on interest in the long run, allowing you to pay off your debt faster. It seemed logical to Ryan, but he wasn't sure where to start. Lisa then recommended budgeting apps like Mint and YNAB. You need a budget to track his expenses and help him find areas where he could cut back. Ryan left that conversation with a lot on his mind. The next morning, he decided to take action. He downloaded Mint and began categorizing his spending. The results shocked him. He was spending way more than he realized on food delivery, entertainment subscriptions, and impulse purchases. $200 a month on takeout? No wonder I'm struggling, he thought. With a new sense of urgency, Ryan went through his expenses with a fine-tooth comb. He cut out streaming services he rarely used, set a strict budget for groceries, and limited his entertainment expenses. He also made the hard decision to move into a cheaper apartment, saving him an additional $300 per month. These changes weren't easy, but Ryan realized that every dollar mattered. The real breakthrough came when Ryan looked into refinancing his student loans. His current loan interest rate was a staggering 7.8%, and no matter how much he paid, the loan balance barely seemed to drop. He began researching refinancing options and found that he could qualify for a lower rate through a platform like SoFi. After submitting his application and providing the necessary documentation, he was approved for a new interest rate of 4.5%. The savings were immediate. His monthly payment dropped by $150, and he had more money to apply directly to the principal. With his new financial strategy in place, Ryan was determined to accelerate his loan repayment, but he knew that cutting back on expenses and refinancing alone wouldn't be enough. He needed to find a way to increase his income. One evening, while scrolling through social media, Ryan saw an ad for freelancing opportunities. "Maybe I could use my design skills to make some extra cash," he thought. Ryan had always dabbled in graphic design, creating logos and social media posts for friends and local businesses. He decided to try his hand at freelancing on platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. He spent evenings creating a portfolio, pitching his services, and networking with potential clients. The work wasn't glamorous, but it paid. In the first few months, Ryan earned an extra $500 to $800 per month. It wasn't a fortune, but it helped. He used this additional income to pay off his loans faster, applying every dollar toward the highest interest loans first, as the debt avalanche method dictated. But then, something unexpected happened. One night, as he was trying to unwind after a long day, Ryan decided to try his hand at creating content for TikTok. He had always enjoyed storytelling, especially telling spooky tales, and thought, why not give it a shot? He filmed a short video narrating a chilling ghost story and posted it without expecting much. To his surprise, the video went viral. Within days, Ryan's TikTok following exploded, and he quickly gained thousands of followers who were captivated by his deep voice and suspenseful storytelling. Soon, Ryan realized that he had an opportunity to monetize his newfound audience. Brands started reaching out to him for sponsorships, and he was even able to include affiliate links to products he recommended in his videos. His income from TikTok began to grow rapidly, and within 6 months, he was making an additional $1,000 to $2,000 a month from the platform alone. Who knew telling scary stories could pay off student loans? Ryan laughed to himself. Still, he was aware that unexpected financial challenges could derail his progress. And that's exactly what happened one day when his car broke down. Ryan had planned his finances carefully, but a $2,000 repair bill was more than he was prepared for. Panic set in, but then he remembered the emergency fund he had been diligently building over the past year. The emergency fund, though not huge, covered the majority of the repair cost without needing to rely on credit cards or loans. Thank God for that fund, Ryan thought. This could have completely derailed me. While he had been paying off his loans, Ryan had also been focusing on saving and building an emergency fund. He learned this lesson the hard way, realizing that life was unpredictable. By setting aside a portion of his income each month, he ensured that he was prepared for unexpected costs, like medical bills or car repairs. This fund became his safety net, preventing him from falling into more debt when life threw him curveballs. Around this time, Ryan learned about his company's tuition reimbursement program. His employer offered up to $5,000 per year to help employees pay down student loans. Ryan couldn't believe his luck. It wasn't widely advertised, but after submitting his application, he received a check for $5,000. This unexpected windfall provided a massive boost to his debt repayment efforts. With each passing month, Ryan's debt continued to shrink. His side hustles, disciplined budgeting, and strategic use of tools like SoFi and Mint made a world of difference. 3 years after that fateful graduation day, Ryan was finally down to his last $950. He knew that the final payment would be a huge milestone, but he wanted to make it memorable. As a celebration, Ryan filmed a TikTok video titled "Goodbye, Student Loans." In the video, he dramatically shredded a printed copy of his final loan statement while upbeat music played in the background. The video went viral, earning him even more followers and turning his story into an inspiration for others who were struggling with debt. When he clicked Submit Payment for the final time, Ryan felt a sense of freedom he had never experienced before. The weight that had been on his shoulders for so long was finally gone. Reflecting on his journey, Ryan realized that the key to his success wasn't just about cutting expenses or hustling on the side, it was about changing his mindset. He learned to view money differently, seeing it not as an obstacle, but as a tool to create the life he wanted. Budgeting became second nature, and side hustles became a means to achieve his financial goals. With his student loans paid off, Ryan shifted his focus to building wealth. He maxed out his 401k contributions and opened a Roth IRA, both of which allowed him to invest in his future. He also started investing through platforms like Vanguard and Robinhood, learning about stocks, bonds, and real estate as part of his continued financial education. But Ryan didn't stop there. He launched a YouTube channel called Debt Free Diaries, where he shared his financial journey and offered advice on how others could pay off their student loans. His story resonated with people from all walks of life, and soon, Ryan had built a community of like-minded individuals who supported each other on their debt-free journeys. Looking back at the young graduate who had been overwhelmed by his student loans, Ryan couldn't help but smile. "I never thought I'd get here," he thought, "but if I can do it, anyone can."